lover. Remember that joint Common Sense used to love her? Oh man, went back. That's when he was called Common Sense, and he wasn't called Common when he shortened it up. Shout out to him. Shout out to my peoples in the Shy. I got to get back up to Chicago. If you're just joining us for the first time here at App Stupid, it's your boy Big Vern. Welcome. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Goes a long way, helps the channel, and we appreciate it. Quick recap today. We opened the show with Louisville, L1C4 for life. They beat Georgia Tech, and you got our thoughts on why they are one of the most dominant teams coming into this year. No one was talking about, and why they will be dangerous down the stretch. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Then we talked some Michigan football. Michigan beat up on USC early, but it looks like they were holding on for dear life by the end of that game. So that's always a thing. Finally, then we pivoted. We talked some SEC football. Tennessee punked out Oklahoma at home. I knew that was going to happen. I told everybody Tennessee can beat Oklahoma, and that's just pretty much where that left it. Then we talked LSU getting some extra help from the referees to beat UCLA. That game very hard to watch. And I don't know. LSU may be ready to fall just by the opponents and the way it's set up. They get these big opponents and then they sandwich these small opponents in, like the Arkansas, like the Floridas, and like all of these other schools, Vandy, after coming off of big games, and you don't know if you're going to be beat up, what the injury report is going to look like. Now you have to play another team that's competitive. They're waiting and they're going to give you their best. That, like I said, the SEC, the top four teams, that's not going to be settled until early November. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. Which brings us to our last story. Finally, the most divisive man in college athletics. You all know I do not like covering Deon Sanders, because for the people who worship Deon Sanders as their deity and their God King, he can do no wrong. You can have all of the football takes you want. You can say some things about Deon. These people will lose their shit. But you can be, critical of someone, critical of their football acumen, and then you can take it to that level, okay? I am very congratulatory to Deon, and here's why. Beating Colorado State last week, that was a game a year ago. They had to go into overtime and get that thing settled. Deon Sanders has won more games this year than he did at this same point last year. So, congratulations to him. This was a game against Baylor. And Shedeur freaking Sanders, that dude balled out of his mind. Just when you thought this game was over, you thought Baylor, they had Colorado's number. Oh my God. Shedeur comes out of nowhere and he ties this thing up. And then you just like, wow, this thing goes into overtime. Colorado scores. And then the guy from Butler fumbles. I mean, Deon lived up to the top billing. When you call him Coach Prime, you may have to call Shedeur Prime Square, because that dude lived up to the moment. He's also a guy who's been in our quarterbacks of the weeks. And we do that because we want you to get down to the Heisman and say, okay, we followed these guys from week 1 all the way to week 12. But college football is so good right now. I don't know if there's anything better than watching college football on a Saturday, because you can't miss it. You don't know from week to week what's going to happen. I myself can't stomach the NFL. The NFL is bad. I challenge anybody who was watching this game, the Buffaloes versus the Baylor Bears, anybody who was watching this game, it was far superior to anything that was on TV yesterday or Sunday. It was far superior to anything that was on TV on Sunday. And that's the beauty of college football, is that you're going to get guys out here playing above and beyond. And that was amazing. So yeah, I got to give Deon his props. I got to give Deon his props on that one. So they passed for 341 through the air. They had 91 yards in rushing. You're at home. That's not enough to beat anybody, but I'd like to see that number get up, if he could, to 120. 24 first downs. That was huge. They were putting that third down conversion 18 times, and they converted 8 of those. That's not bad. It's not the world's greatest, but when you're in a program that's turning the curve, now you start to see light at the end of the tunnel. You got to understand, when Deion Sanders took over this job, Colorado only won 1 game. His first year, they went 4-8. So he won more games than he won the year before he got there. Now he's won more games than he won last year at this same time. You have to see growth. The games they were going into overtime and struggling with, they're actually winning these games hands down, which is what he's supposed to be doing. And I know a lot of people think that Deon is going to bail. He's not going to be here for the long haul. That may be true. That may be true. But while he's here, enjoy what you're seeing right now. Enjoy Travis Hunter right now. Enjoy Shador right now. This is actually really compelling football. And if you say, okay, Deon has his deficiencies on football, yeah, I know. We point him out to you. Win, lose, or draw, we point him out to you. He's able to win TV. This game was on in primetime. This game was on in primetime. And people were glued to this game for a reason. And I'm not saying Deion Sanders is going to go ahead and win the Big 12 his first year out the gate. That's going to be okay if he does. They're getting ready to go play UCF next weekend. UCF just got handled by Miami. This is where you're going to see him openly recruit the kids in Miami. They're going to have the guys who they're looking at, and they're going to have their eyes on some NIL kids as well. Again, this is who he is. This is his circus. He's going to go ahead and give you what he's got. But after that, they play Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati. They'll beat the brakes off them. Texas Tech, that game, that's a compelling game. Utah, then they play Kansas. They finish it off at the end of the year with Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State just got beat. Oklahoma State just got beat. So you don't know what kind of shape that the Cowboys are going to be in when they roll into town. But right now, at this moment, Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, they're really good and really fun to watch. They're really fun to watch. Is it the best football I've seen? No. Is it the strongest defense in the world? God, no. It is entertaining to watch. You know, I think also many times people want to make perfect the enemy of good. It doesn't have to be flawless football. It can't be. Not at 2 years on the job, even in the age of NIL. I don't think that the Colorado Buffaloes have an identity on either side of the ball. I just think that this is all, hey, look, we're going with whatever flies. So whatever hybrid offense of the air raid we can sling together, whatever pro set we can sling together, RPO, we can sling that together. Can we do a 4-4 defense? Can we get a 4-3 defense? Can we get a stack? Look, it doesn't matter what they run. They just know how to win. And that's what you look for in a fan base. Can you win? I don't give a damn how much football you know. Can you win? Why am I coming to the stadium paying these overpriced tickets and concessions, and I'm going to sit down and watch you get your head kicked in? That's not cool. Oh, but they know football. Sit your dumb ass down. Just win. Win the damn games. In the great words of Al Davis, win, baby, win. Win, baby, win. My goodness. Well, that's the show. Thank you all for sharing, liking, and subscribing to the content. I hope you had just as much fun as we did here in the